Well, hello everybody. Welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm back and I have an interesting video for you today. I want to talk about a Dillon RL550B, and I'm going to show you one of the really cool upgrades that you could get for your press. So stay with me and I hope you enjoy the video. It's going to be fun. Okay, we are going to upgrade this primer track plate. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to put in a new track plate, but it's also going to have a slide bearing on the side. This will all make sense here in a second. So the first thing I need to do is I need to get underneath the press right here, underneath the priming system, and there are two small screws under there. So I'm going to take these guys out. I'm going to unhook this little spring and I'm going to take out these two machine bolts here. And then eventually I'm going to lift out the priming assembly and probably the priming arm as well. So these screws were not gorilla tight or anything like that. They were snug. So when we put it back together, we're not going to make them crazy tight either. So I'm going to raise the ram, and what that's going to do is that's going to allow this priming assembly to come off. Now if you have the little bar that connects to, that rides off of this wheel, you'll obviously need to take that bar off as well. I don't have it on this press because it's on my other one right next to it. So I'm going to lift the priming slide, and this little piece right here is what I'm going to take off. So I'm going to get my package here. Got a little staple on it, and there's a couple parts. We're going to put the new plate in. We're also going to put a bearing on. So here's the new plate. It's going to fit just like that. So we're going to put the new system like that. And we are also going to open this package, pull out the little Allen wrench that they include, which I thought was really cool. And we need this part. Now, this part is the actual bearing itself. And it's going to ride just like that. So you can see that there's a flat washer on either side of the plate. Take this small crescent wrench to back up this nut here. With the included Allen wrench, I'm just going to tighten this up a little bit. I'm not going to get too crazy because I'm not sure what the final position is going to be. I just tighten this up a little bit, and what's going to happen is the primer assembly is going to rest against that. Now when I set this piece down, I want to make sure that it's backed away from the ram. I don't want this thing like all the way forward where it'll cause conflict with the ram. So let's go ahead and take our bar here. And you can see that the little side bearing is right there, and you can see that the priming arm will ride against that bearing. So we're going to take this piece right here, we're going to lower the ram a little bit and get the primer arm in position as if we were going to prime. Bear with me here, it takes a little second here. Now I'm going to put both of these machine screws underneath, just the opposite of what I did a second ago. They're going to go right in these little holes. And let's go ahead and start the second one. Make sure that I'm threading in. Looks like the first one didn't quite grab. Sometimes it helps if I raise the ram a little bit to get the linkage out of the way. So get the linkage out of the way a little bit. And I'm leaving everything a little bit loose right now. I'm going to do that final tightening here in just a second, because I want to make sure that everything is in proper alignment, everything's in good position. See, like right now, there we go. That's where we want it. So we'll push this into position as if we were priming, and we're going to reconnect our spring here. And now I'm going to take this rod off of the other press here, this angled rod. I'm going to put that in up top right here, and then down at the bottom. I'll bring the ram back a little bit. Okay, now we're going to test this priming arm and see if it pushes it back. Doesn't look like it wants to push it back or bring it forward. So what does that tell me? It tells me that I'm just a little bit too tight. So I got to loosen these screws just mildly, because I want that thing to ride comfortably. Now from here, I want to check to make sure that I have good operation of my priming slide, which I do. So that thing is moving nice and freely. You can see that it comes back nice and easy, goes forward nice and easy. And then from the other side, the whole purpose of the operation is this ball bearing here, so that the primer slide has something to ride against, because before we just had this plate. We didn't have that bearing there to kind of help keep that thing centered. Now, one thing that you might run into is the thickness right here underneath. If it doesn't slide freely, it doesn't operate freely like this one is here, what my suggestion would be to take a small piece of aluminum can, cut off a small piece, okay, and the size of the piece of aluminum that you're going to need is going to need to be the distance between both of these screws. So you want it to slip in between. I'll show you that here in a second a little bit better. What this will do is this will raise the height just a little bit. See, you want a piece that fits just kind of like that. That's if you're not getting it sliding freely. So you just make yourself this little aluminum can shim, just like that, and that is plenty thick to help raise this up enough that it'll allow this priming chute or caddy, whatever you want to call it, to slide in and out easily. Okay, so I had to do that with mine. I had to make this little shim to get that to slide free, because without this little shim, this didn't want to move at all. That's what it looks like. So we can tighten these bolts a little more. They don't need to be crazy tight, just snug. And this press is now back in operation, and everything is nice and smooth. Priming system now has a ball bearing to ride against, and that's going to help keep everything in line and help a lot with the priming process. So folks, I want to say thank you for joining me on this video today on installing the Dillon RL550B primer slide bearing track plate. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple process. So again, I hope you got some good, useful information. Please feel free to leave comments down below, like this video, share this video, and if you like the type of content that you see on my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you. And until next time, folks, thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful day.